Hey guys,
Hey
welcome
everyone.
to the first ever Kingsgate Youth Live
Woo.
here on YouTube.
Come on.
It's working this time.
Yes.
We just did our whole
We're
intro and didn't realise we weren't live.
No, we didn't. Don't
How
tell
good
them
is that? No, we didn't. But you know, this is our first one, teething problems, but we are here, Kingsgate Youth Live here on YouTube.
Yeah.
Um,
Who else is here?
who else here? Let us
Say
know.
hello.
Let us know in the chat.
Yeah.
You might have seen us in your school this week.
Yeah.
For Illuminate Tour. What schools have you been in this week?
We've been in Manor Drive, we've been in Copa, we've been in Kings, and tomorrow we're in Arthur Mellows.
Arthur Mellows Village College tomorrow, so say hi if you're there.
Yeah.
Let us know where you're watching from in the chat. We've got some
Come
people
on.
saying hi.
Yeah.
We've got Chloe, we've got Jake, we've got Kim, we've got Michelle, we've got Just Terry, we've got Tropical Duo. Amazing. Tell us where you're watching from, what school you're from. We'd love to say hi. And also to remind you, if you haven't already,
Yeah.
like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already.
You're missing out.
You're missing out. We're putting up content all the time, got big plans.
Yeah.
Just hit 300 subscribers.
300?
300, nice little round number.
I reckon we could go for 500.
By tomorrow.
By tomorrow night, 500.
500 YouTube
Helps
subscribers. Anyway, and also, you can also follow us at kingsgate.youth on Instagram and TikTok as well.
TikTok's going wild,
We
right?
put up a video from Kings the other day.
It's gone nuts.
There's like 6,500 people
Come on.
who've seen it, like 500 of you liked it, a bazillion comments. It was going off. So
if you are in Kings, check it out. You might be able to see yourself.
yeah, you might do. But let's get down to it. We've got a very special guest.
We have.
Today.
Yeah. So we talked about Illuminate. It's been running the whole week. And so we want to introduce the lead singer of LZ7. It is Liz!
Woo!
What's going on, man? You alright?
Yes.
How's it going?
Good. Yeah, I'm alright. Just been watching, making sure it was going live. Just double checking on
We're
it.
live.
Double checking this time. We are actually live now.
We are actually
We're
live,
actually
properly
live.
live. Noah's done his job.
Great stuff.
Get on now.
Noah the intern. Sat over there.
Amazing. So, just in case there's people watching who might not have seen your schools, don't know who you are,
Yeah.
why don't you introduce yourself?
My name is Linz. I'm the frontman to a band called LZ7, and we do a lot of kind of up-tempo sort of party music that has got a message behind it, a message of hope, but also mental health and just living your life on purpose and being the best you. But we travel all over the place, so we go from schools to mainstream tours to festivals to arenas, back to schools, and everything in between. So lots and lots of music
Busy.
and lots of
Amazing.
busyness. Yeah, it's good. It's good fun.
So how's this week gone in Peterborough?
Yeah, it's been good. Peterborough feels like a bit of a second home.
Come
It
on.
is one continual roundabout.
Yep.
There's roundabouts everywhere. There's
Yeah.
McDonald's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true.
And we've just loved it. So we've loved being in each of the schools. They've all got different vibes. So Manor right the way through to Copper today and Kings yesterday. And then we're looking forward to Arthur Mellows tomorrow. So it's going to be good fun.
Can't wait.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Can't wait.
So we're going to be asking a few questions in the next kind of 25
Yeah.
minutes or so. And also in the chat, if you've got any questions for Linz,
Mm.
ask literally anything. Just chuck it in the chat. Noah's over there monitoring stuff. He's going to tell us any good ones that come through, and we'll ask them at the end of this
Come
little
on, Noah.
live stream. Noah's got to keep track. But we're in Peterborough.
Yeah.
Second home.
Second home, you said
That's
already.
Feels like a
That's
second
quite a
home, yeah.
statement.
It is quite a statement. Like everywhere we go where people make you feel proper welcome, it's like a second home. And that
Yeah.
could be New Zealand, Fiji, Peterborough.
Yeah.
We often get referred in that
I'm
same
sure
way.
you do. Yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure there's a real similarity of places there.
But we've been told,
Yeah.
actually, that some of the fast food in Peterborough, you mentioned McDonald's already,
Yeah,
but we've got some decent fast food in
We
Peterborough.
have.
decent fast food.
Yeah.
We've been told that we've got a place, it's called The Lads
Yeah.
in Peterborough,
Yeah.
and some say it's better than Nando's.
Oh, it's better than Nando's.
It's a
Yeah.
claim.
It's a big claim.
It's a claim.
That is
so-
a big claim. We were at Nando's yesterday.
Yeah, and so you can compare, because Noah, come on Noah, little
Come on,
round of
Noah.
applause from Noah.
Woo!
Give him a Noah in the chat, there we go. He's brought you
No, you had
The
one job.
Lads.
No, I'm joking. Nothing. I'm just joking.
It's a bit saucy. But
It's a bit saucy, is it? It's a bit saucy.
But
What am I doing with this?
we want to know,
Just going to blow my head
is
off.
this as good?
I can
or
smell the
better than Nando's?
spice already.
We got told you weren't good with
You
spice.
bum.
But
Oh,
we-
and it's cold. Oh.
Noah!
No, we had one job.
One job.
What am I
Noah.
supposed to do? Tell you what.
I want to know if this is actually as good as Nando's
Does
or not.
Peterborough hold its claim?
It's pretty good.
Yeah?
Pretty good. Out of 10.
I mean,
Despite it being cold
it's
and
not cold.
Oh, it's not cold.
The bun was cold.
Oh.
No, everything else was warm. I'd say, if you like chicken burgers, is that medium?
Yeah.
It's not spicy.
Oh, really?
Right, it's going to hit me
Wow.
about 2 minutes. I'm really going to spicy. I'd say that's pretty close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nando's, yeah.
How about chips?
Do they do actual, they're good. Are they poo chips?
Peri chips, yeah.
They're good
You
then.
might just need to hold your plate up to the.
Can you see what I mean?
So you can-
It's called
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Lad's Chicken Burger.
There we
It's a
go.
medium.
There it is.
There we go.
I
Amazing.
can't eat mediums at all, but
Faye says Nando's is better. Do you agree or disagree?
well, to be honest, I don't have a chicken burger when I go to Nando's, and I don't have a chicken burger when I go to. If I went to Lad's, I'd have pieces of chicken.
Just chicken. All right.
So you never know. Do they do lemon and herb? Do they do peri tamar?
They do
You
lemon
have to
and
ask all
herb,
these
They
questions.
do, yeah.
but
Do peri tamar?
Noah said to get you the spicy one. So
Lads. No, Nando's is better. Can't wait till the concert tomorrow. Wicked, but Lads is good. Lads is good. No, it is good. Where'd you buy tickets? Go online.
yeah,
comes
link
to
in the
door?
description for the gig
We'll
tickets.
let you know
We'll
all
let you
of
know
that
all
very
about
shortly.
that.
Yeah,
In a
no.
little
Do
bit.
you want feeding? Noah's the intern. Noah doesn't
No,
eat.
we don't
Noah-
feed
I
Noah.
don't get fed.
Noah doesn't get fed.
Take
You're
this
There's
welcome
just
away.
to it.
scraps
There
on
you
the
go.
floor.
To be fair, that is pretty spicy.
You're
But,
right. You're good.
It's probably about time to mention the gig on Friday.
Yes.
So if you are in
Tomorrow.
Peterborough tomorrow night, what's happening?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, what are you doing
So
tomorrow?
tomorrow night we're turning their auditorium into a bit of what looks like a club, really.
Yep.
Obviously, you have this massive screen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
It
do.
really helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we're going to kind of section off the area and make it very kind of like gig friendly. So it'll be a proper gig, like top to bottom. We've got 3 acts. A guy called Triple O is a rapper from London.
Yep.
So if you like your kind of trappy hip hop, you'll love that stuff. Then we got Saints who came into school with us. They're kind of like pop, up tempo EDM, and then it's just all out party with us guys with Elder
Come
7.
on.
So
Amazing.
if you haven't got a ticket, please make sure you get one. You can turn up on the door, and the parents come for free. Parents area, remember that. Free.
Yeah.
Nada.
So
Gratis.
if your parents want to come, they can come hang out. But you can buy tickets. There is a link in the description of this video where you can buy a ticket right now, or just turn up with a $5.
Yeah,
They're
absolutely.
literally
Keep
just
on the door.
£5.
Just
So-
£5. First question that's come
It's
through.
getting hotter.
Does he have a wife?
Oh,
Do you
Is
have
that a
a
girl that asked that?
is that a girl that's asked that? Is that a mum that's asked that?
Oh my goodness.
Have I got a wife? Yeah, I have got a wife. Her name's Lucy, and I've got 2 kids. One's called Jack, and one's called Willow. And I'll show you a photo because they're very cute.
Yeah.
Willow is actually a bit of a model, and but they're both. We adopted both of them, and me and my wife just absolutely adore them. So I'll get a photo out so you can see.
Yeah.
But
They go right up to the camera.
go right to the camera, and you can
Look
see.
at her.
You can see Willow.
Love it.
Out.
So that's
focus,
my.
but cute.
Oh, that's my little 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Anyway, you get the gist.
Proud dad.
Proud dad. Proud dad moment.
Yeah. That's amazing. And so, you already mentioned a little bit about what you do with LZ7. Lots of travel,
Yeah.
gigs around the world. Want to
I'm
know
starting to sweat.
It's coming.
Yeah, it is actually.
coming.
It's
On
coming
set.
outside of my head. No, you're going to pay. Hey, we did this thing today called a pocket rocket on Noah. And if you find him at any point tomorrow night, there's a guy called Noah who's just going to be walking around. Undo your water bottle, just put it upside down in his pocket. He loves it.
Yeah. He'll be
It's
wearing
just-
a big badge, big name badge.
Big name badge
with
says
Noah
Noah.
on.
Yeah. You'll see him.
Yeah.
I'll point
Pocket
him out.
rocket.
Pocket rocket. I'll point him out. You just get him.
You have permission.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Go on. What was
But
the
want to
question?
know, what's the best place, apart from Peterborough, because it's obviously the best place.
Obviously.
Obviously, what's the best place you've ever been to?
I loved Fiji.
Yeah.
So Fiji's like another level. I also loved Papua New Guinea, but I loved Papua New Guinea for a different reason. Papua New Guinea is a very poor part of the world, and going out there and being able to do music and just see the joy on these lads' faces, like 65,000 people turned up to the show at the end of a school tour.
Wow.
And that's because we saw about 20,000 kids in school, and then they brought all their families, they brought all their families, and it was just joy. It was just like, I've never seen a bigger rave, and you've just not seen a stadium full. It's full, like their national stadium. So that was amazing. But Fiji's just this beautiful place. It's absolutely gorgeous. Like if you see some of the islands on, Google it and look it up. We actually got to go out there. And I went to go and surf a place called Cloudbreak, which is where the Quicksilver board tour goes.
Oh, yeah.
So we bombed it out to the middle of the ocean, and this guy, and I was like, sat in there with me and my mate, and I went, no sharks, right? No sharks. He goes, nah, bro, no sharks, man. You're from the motherland. There's no sharks. I was like, great, no sharks. We're in the South Pacific. hang on a minute, there's going to be sharks. And then this tanker was next to us, and we were just in this boat about the length of this stage. This tanker went past us, and we chased it to get across the front of this oil tanker, like it was in the middle of the ocean. And cloud break is basically a wave that happens on a beach. That's a beach break, but there's no beach, so you don't see a beach.
Okay.
You just see a wave. So I'm like, well, how do you know where it is? And he said, you'll see. And literally, you get there, and it banks up, and the wave goes, and it, throws up about 20 feet. And then it rolls for about a minute and a half, and it rolls out, and then you swim around the back. So I caught a couple of waves. I did all right.
Yeah.
Dropped my mate off for a bit of snorkeling, and he's there in the South Pacific on his own. Dropped my mate off, came back in. I swam around the wave, and then I just saw this shadow go underneath me, and I literally up on my board like this. Get me in that boat! Get me in that! And he's like, I can't wait. The break. Psh, knocks me off. I'm like, Joe, get back on the board, get me in that boat. Like, almost in tears, like trying to get to the boat. And I was like, you told me there's no sharks. And he's like, oh, sorry, bro. You're in the South Pacific, mate. And I was like, I said that. There was a massive shark. It was horrible. It was like a reef shark that went underneath us. So I loved it and hated it all at the same time. But yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
And when you were in those places, were you in schools?
We did, in Papua New Guinea, we did all schools. In Fiji, we did all schools the second time around. The first time we just stopped on the way to New Zealand because it was a cheaper trip. But the second time we went there, we did all of the Wesleyan schools. So Charles Wesley and John Wesley all went out there and planted a big like Methodist church movement, which is a bit like Church of England schools here.
Okay.
So they now call us the motherland. They literally say, "Oh, you're from the motherland. You're from where Wesley's from." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess, yeah." And to us, you kind of don't really realise, but they hold a lot of heritage to the UK. So it was a real privilege to be there.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
And so you've had great experiences. You've had sharks. Was that the sketchiest thing that's ever happened to you on a tour or on a travel something? Or other?
No, I mean we had a. I'll probably share about this on the tomorrow night. But we had a plane go down when we were on the plane, and I'll share about it because it's quite a sort of. It's not a harrowing experience, but it's probably the time where I thought I'm actually going to die now.
This is it.
Yeah, and I actually prayed that prayer of God, I see you on the other side, and it wasn't even sketchy. It just went just bombed towards Earth, and I was, oh my gosh, this is game over. Wow. So that was pretty sketchy. But as far as stage stuff goes, like we always have such a laugh doing stupid things, and you wouldn't believe the kind of stuff that we not get up to, but we. Practical jokes, and I mean, Noah's going to get pocket rocketed tomorrow, but we had a guy, a sound engineer, that used to gaffer tape his pockets to make sure he didn't get pocket rocketed at every gig.
Fear.
Because we'd just get him. So just that kind of humour is our sort of thing, so yeah, it's all good fun.
Has any joke backfired?
Has any joke backfired? I think probably turning off someone's mic and then them getting upset about it backfires quite a bit. One guy in Germany, we do Illuminate here, and they do Shine in Germany, so we've kind of like launched Shine over there.
Okay.
And this one guy from a band who we were opening for, so they'd done the schools tour, and we were flying out to open for them. And he said in German for like 3 minutes, he said something to these kids. And our first song just goes, and then the intro starts, and it's like CO2. And I'm looking out the crowd, and I'm like, come on! Like, and not one kid moved. Didn't move. And I'm going, what's going on? I'm looking at him smiling. I'm turning around going, what's going on? Turning back and smiling, like, come on! Like, no one's moving. Like, literally just hanging over the crowd barriers, staring at me.
No.
And I'm like, what's wrong with these Germans? What's going on? Like, in my head, my flesh is like, and I tell him, anyway, I got to Elevator, the song, and I'm still at the back, and I'm looking at the screen, and I'm pointing to the screen, and I went to go and run off the stage, and I slipped, and I fell off the stage. It's about 12 foot in the air, off the stage onto a bunch of scaffolding, and you could hear it.
Oh.
And it gave me the biggest dead leg, like, one of those dead legs where you want to cry, but you laugh. And I was hobbling around, and the German guy, came up and he goes, "Oh, great joke, yes." And I went, "What great joke?" And he goes, "Oh, I told the crowd not to dance in your first song." Like, my first song is 16 minutes long, because it's like 5 put together. I was like, God, good Lord, no wonder. And one of our DJ, Lewis at the time, he goes, "I've got to be honest, bro, a piece of me's just died on that stage. Because I've just left a piece of me on there." So anyway, we went, Dave, our burger, our guy. Yeah, it's brutal. This guy used a foot pedal auto-tuner, and he had it in the key of A, so we changed it to the key of E.
Naturally.
So he sang, and he went, so he just went off into the gods, and then he was really upset, like super upset, and we were like, well, don't give it out unless you can take it back. That's the moral of the story.
Yeah, I don't know who's opening for you, hosting tomorrow night here, but
Is it Noah?
it might be Noah.
We'll get-
No, I think it's
Amazing,
Phil, I think
though.
it's Phil and Kira.
Phil and Kira.
Oh, we'll set them up. We'll set them up.
Yeah, that'd be great. You've also got a new single out,
Yeah.
which you've been doing in schools. Tell us a little bit about that.
It's called Energy, and the reason we called it Energy is I had this I was listening to a podcast of a guy over in the States, and he was saying things like, when you talk about God, you're a nut job. When you talk about the universe, you're suddenly like, oh yeah, I know, I get that. When you talk about things like the Holy Spirit, which is like a part of God, you've lost your mind. But you talk about the energy in the room, like you really connected with the energy in the room, and suddenly you're in on like the kind of talk of the day. And I was going, energy, 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 and I was like, I ain't got the energy for much else than talking about love, man. So and then I sent the track to a friend in the States. And he literally went, if you want to talk, let's talk about it. And I was like, whoa, you nailed this. Sent it back, wrote the verses. So we recorded it on the west coast of the US
Nice.
and Manchester, and put it together. And then we put it on, we put it out for tender for remixes. So like Kiss FM, Capital FM, all their dance DJs will remix. So we had one before was remixed by Charlie Hedges on Radio 1. And they'll play it on their show. So your song gets playlisted and then it goes into all the clubs. So obviously young people in the clubs, every DJ's playing it, they're giving you their feedback, they're playing this version or this version. And it went to number 5 in the UK dance and club chart just 2 weeks ago, which is great. So we love pushing that that area to then go into school and say, well, this is what we do and this is where it's played. And some kids go, oh my gosh, I've heard you, I've seen you in Preston or whatever. And then you're face to face with them. So it's really good fun, and the energy is just about like creating that energy for them.
It's a tune.
You like
It's been
it?
in my head all day.
That's great. We've actually got a little bit of the video to show.
Nice.
So
Yeah, nice.
let's check this out.
The cost of living in the UK is rising, and it's changing people's lives.
In France, the Gironde region in the southwest of the country, where wildfires have burned more than 20,000 hectares of forests in the last week.
After months of preparations, the Russian President Vladimir Putin has launched a major military operation against Ukraine.
Heavy on my heart, heavy in my soul, tired of putting on a show. Feeling far apart, feeling all alone, trying to find a way to go. Like your heart's falling out of your chest, like a war going under your skin. Take a breath, gotta give it a rest, 'cause this is where it all could end. If you wanna talk, let's talk about love, 'cause I don't have the energy for anything else. So if you wanna talk, let's talk about love and give it all our energy, give all our energy. If you wanna talk, let's talk about love, 'cause I don't have the energy for anything else. So if you wanna talk, let's talk about love and give it all our energy, give all our energy. Love, 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 energy. Love, 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 give all our energy. Love, 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 energy. Love, 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 love.
Awesome.
Love it.
You did it. You just stopped then as I dropped off a drum kit onto the floor. That's quite good. Like, and
I
we're
thought it was when
done.
you slipped over. So
Yeah.
I've slipped over a few times.
So you can listen to that on Spotify.
Spotify, YouTube Music,
Apple Music.
Deezer,
tomorrow
anything.
night.
Tomorrow night, come see it live.
Come on.
Yeah, awesome.
But that music video is actually a hybrid of live. You can hear it when you listen to it hybrid live and the actual song.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the chorus is actually everybody singing the chorus.
That's fun.
Yeah, that's cool. Great. So we've got just a couple minutes left, and we want to ask you one more question, maybe something a little bit deeper.
Keep asking questions in the chat as well.
Yeah. We'll get to a couple of questions at the end. But want to know if you could like go back in time, tell your younger self like one thing, what would it be?
Yeah, I think some of the messages that we use in the lesson is what I would want to tell myself. Some of that stuff about never giving up, that was never really an issue for me. In that, I was super motivated and super up for stuff and super kind of like into stuff. But if I didn't want to do it, I just wouldn't do it. And I think having the security of knowing that actually who I am, but also whose I am, is something I wish I'd learned earlier. Because, I mean, I did know it, and don't get me wrong. You know, someone's asked a question about confidence just on the chat there. And confidence is 2 words. It's confidence, and it means with faith. And if I'd known that confidence and arrogance were 2 different things, I would have gone, oh, do you know what? I'm confident because of my faith. I'm not arrogant because I'm good at stuff. I'm confident because I know that God's with me. And you know, David picked up 5 stones and used 1 because Goliath had 4 brothers. So he was confident God was with him. So he's taken out 1 giant, but he got himself armed for 4 more. Yeah. So I wish I'd known that there'd be another giant coming around the corner that's going to try and take me out or give me a hard time. There's been another one. So get myself armed for it and ready. Get myself. So that's where the confidence comes from. I wish I'd been able to tell myself that back in the day. I wasn't unconfident at all. I was a kid that wanted to impress people and, you know, do stuff for a laugh and, you know, do practical, which was kind of what we do now, but just older. But
big kid.
Yeah, and I got this real thing about like growing old but never growing up. Like grow old, as in you're gonna get old, your body's gonna mature, but just keep young. Just think about stuff and do stuff that, you know, keeping it. I think people often come up to us and say, how come, you know, you've been doing this for like 10, 12, 13 years and you still got a passion for it? And I'm like, because I think being a Christian keeps you young and on your toes. And it kind of allows you to express yourself and live the best life. And I wish I'd told myself that sort of, you know, 13, 14 when I was struggling with a bit of bullying at school and listening to people doing stuff to impress them. And I think that's probably what I'd say to myself.
That's cool. Love it.
Great. And have we got a couple of questions in the chat? How did you start making music? Yeah, I had to. So I was in a band before. I was working in London, and I joined a band in Manchester called the Message Tribe, which was, and I was like the young kid. I was just moved up, and I was only in my early 20s, and we did it for a couple of years, and then stopped. But I moved up, and we worked in inner city Manchester schools. So real tough, some of them really tough schools, and I kind of just sat behind people and soaked up all the information of how to do it, what to do, when to do it, how do you write this, how do you do that, do you write all the songs yourselves, the production side of it. And I kind of learned it. So when we left that organisation to start our own, I was on this fast track of learning how to do music properly. So you've got the voice note where I've sung the If You Wanted to, all the way through to the final product that's going into Spotify. All at the same time, there's so many hoops you jump through to get to that point where a lot of people just go, well, you must just put it out. And I'm like, you don't just put it out. Like, there is a whole machine that works towards this one point and it drops at the same time. Everything has to be, all your ducks have to be in a row. And I've learned that, and that's been a bit of a fast track thing. So we've set up our own label to be able to do that. So we can distribute our own songs and Saints and not have to kind of go to another label and say, hey, you've given us this money, now what do you want us to do to earn it back? We can do it ourselves.
You're making all the decisions, basically.
All the decisions ourselves,
That's cool.
Awesome. And one more question for you.
Go for it.
Are you Gordon Ramsay's brother?
That's the most popular question in every single school we've ever been in.
Have you ever met him?
No, I'm not. But the funny thing is, on my Instagram, on the LZ7 Instagram, I put up, when it was Doppelganger Week or something, I put up a photo of me next to him. It's the most liked, the most commented on shot I've ever put up in my life. So I might as well just embrace it. I'm like, yeah, man.
Yeah, he is. You're
related. He's a dude. Like, we're related. I'm not his brother actually, but I'm his brother from another mother. And his daughter actually has been to a few of our shows, and it's come down with some of the youth groups. Set up a sign. Here I am. Yeah. No. So no, I'm not his brother, but. I think he's the guy that's really sweated and worked to get where he's at, and you know that's something to admire as well. So I'm up for putting in the spade work as well. The spade work, the hard work.
Great stuff. Well, we are very nearly out of time. But just to remind you guys watching, gig tomorrow night here, Kingsgate, Peterborough, 7 o'clock. The doors open. There's £5 tickets. Link in the description, or just turn up with a £5 on the door. It's going to be great. Got yourself. Got Saints
and Triple O.
It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, it is.
It's going to be amazing. And also, just before we finish up, I'll remind you again, subscribe to the channel. We put stuff up all the time. Kingsgate Youth is bigger than just Illuminate tour. We have youth every Friday, every
Yeah.
Tuesday, with tons of stuff going on.
And I'm coming back
And you are.
next Friday.
Next Friday, you're back.
So if you come
again.
this Friday, I'm going to be back next Friday as well at Youth.
Yes.
Speaking at Youth, so you can come back and see a double
It's gonna
whammy.
be awesome. And for anything else, Kingsgate Youth, you can follow us at kingsgate.youth on Instagram and TikTok. All the different stuff out there.
Loads.
Loads of stuff. Just want to show you the little gig promo one more time before we finish up.
Come on now.
We'll see you later. Amazing. So we'll see you tomorrow.
Tomorrow night.
7 o'clock, the
7.
doors open.
Come on.
Liz wasn't concentrating.
I threw you right off then, didn't I? Because I was looking at TikTok. I caught busted out like a
Yeah,
detail.
he was checking out our TikTok. You should check out our TikTok as well at kingsgate.youth.
Definitely.
We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. See you later, guys.
Peace.
Bye.
See yous.